And no apologies from the former treasurer for the Santa Fe County Republicans. This after his Donald Trump piñata party cost him his job. Take a look at the cell phone video here that sparked this controversy. Ignacio Padilla let people take a hit at his Donald Trump piñata on the plaza on Friday. Padilla was the Republican Party county treasurer. He says he was so offended by Trump's comments about Mexicans bringing drugs, crime, and rapists to the U.S. that he made the party favor meant to be bashed by bats. The Republican Party of Santa Fe ousted him on Sunday, though, citing party rules that officers must remain neutral in primary races. Padilla says no one told him that.
I can understand that coming from a communist party, but not from the Republican Party of the USA.
So Padilla told us he's first a Hispanic, a U.S. citizen, and then a Republican. He now drives around with a torn-up Trump piñata on his car. Now, you can visit our KRQE News app right now to see more photos of Ignacio Padilla's anti-Trump car.
6:03 developing right now. The man accused of kidnapping a Rio Rancho girl and taking her to Indiana is heading back to New Mexico to face federal charges. U.S. Marshals are working to extradite 37-year-old Joe Medina. Medina was arrested at a Greyhound bus station in Indiana last month with 16-year-old Andrea Lucero. He's accused of meeting her on Facebook and then threatening to kill her the night that she was taken. The pair was found 2 days later after an Amber Alert was issued. New this morning, authorities in Texas are trying to dispel rumors that Sandra Bland was harmed while in custody.
Yeah, and today we're getting a look at video that the department turned over in light of numerous death threats. The video shows Bland is seen wearing the same outfit that she wore during her arrest after a traffic stop that went awry. The judge also says this new video right here, it also puts to rest social media rumors that Bland was dead when her mugshot was taken. Listen.
This is where the infamous mugshot is taken. The fact that she was sleeping right before the mugshot may have something to do with her appearance in the mugshot.
So after Bland was booked, officials say a worker let her use a free desk phone for about 22 minutes because she was having trouble getting someone to answer and post her bond. Authorities have ruled the death a suicide. Bland's family rejects those findings, though.
Developing right now, the NFL Players Union says it will appeal Tom Brady's 4-game suspension in the Deflategate scandal. This after the league announced it would uphold the punishment, saying the Patriots quarterback also destroyed his cell phone, which may have contained incriminating text messages. The Patriots were fined $1 million and docked a pair of draft picks. Brady's agent calls the process a sham.
We turn on to this. 2 teens are facing serious charges this morning after an overnight crime spree this week. Police say they arrested the boys ages 16 and 17 for allegedly breaking into cars along Pennsylvania, just south of I-40. APD says at least 3 cars were broken into, including an APD bait car right there. The thefts have neighbors on edge this morning.
The social routine just weirds me out. I have no idea what their mental institute is, but, you know, when they're planning a robbery, they're going to get it done.
Yeah, and the case is eerily similar to a theft spree that led to the murder of Stephen Garrick in the Northeast Heights. 6 teens are charged in that case. Police say they broke into several cars and homes over the last few months there. It's cases like these, plus the murder of a 14-year-old at a park Sunday and the recent murder of a man allegedly by a 16s that has an Albuquerque City Councilor wanting state lawmakers to bring back a teen curfew. Westside Democrat Ken Sanchez says kids under 17 need to be home from midnight to 6 in the morning. Albuquerque had that curfew law back in the 90s, but the state Supreme Court ruled it went against state law. There have been several attempts to change the state law and allow cities to have their own curfews since then.
6:06, let's turn to a live look over Washington this morning, where new facts suggest that the nation's capital is in fact sinking and fast. According to research, D.C. is expected to sink 6 inches or more over the next 100 years. Now, combine that with what some scientists say about global warming, and D.C. could be in real trouble. The Intergovernmental Panel, on climate change predicts a global rise in sea levels of 1 to 3 feet by the year 2100. Other U.S. cities reportedly at risk of sinking: New York, Miami, and New Orleans. Governor Susana Martinez is weighing in on Virgin Galactic's future in New Mexico. This comes after federal investigators revealed human error caused a Virgin Galactic ship to break apart. Last October, Spaceship Two tore apart in mid-flight over the Mojave Desert. Investigators say it happened because a pilot hit the brakes too early. The wings then tilted up and the ship shook to pieces, killing the co-pilot. We asked Governor Martinez about the spaceport losing $500,000 a year without Virgin Galactic. She says they're now focused on working with other partners.
We want to diversify Spaceport America. I mean, we have other companies that are there, SpaceX, that are also testing rockets and a variety of other things.
Martinez says she's not given up on Virgin Galactic. The company is telling its prepaid customers that commercial space flights could begin by fall 2017.
We turn out to news happening this morning in Washington, D.C., where Republican senators are trying to fast-track a bill to defund Planned Parenthood. This comes amid allegations it was selling body parts of aborted babies. Yesterday, Albuquerque protesters pounded the pavement outside a local Planned Parenthood, saying they want lawmakers to stop using their tax dollars for the nation's largest abortion provider. Also yesterday, a third video featuring a woman who says she worked in a clinic and saw proof of the allegations was released. The video was heavily edited, though. Local protesters are now demanding to know which New Mexico locations are doing this.
And I think women across this state and country feel betrayed. Many women are being told that, it's just a clump of cells or a clump of tissue.
Senate leaders plan to hold a vote on a plan to block federal aid before their August break. This morning, jurors in Denver must decide if James Holmes' mental illness means he deserves a sentence of life instead of death.
And if they can't, though, victims and families will then testify. Yesterday, James Holmes' family members pleaded for his life, showing video of a young Holmes in an attempt to maybe soften his image. One by one, members took the stand asking the jury to spare his life. If the jury does not find that he deserves life without parole, they must then decide if he will receive the death penalty.
And finally, new video this morning shows the heroic actions of an officer as he tries to save a 2-year-old. Lapel video captures the officer arrive at the frantic mother's house and a baby gasping for air there. The officer quickly tries to clear the girl's airways. After a few tries, she finally lets out a cry. You can hear it right there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, x-rays show the little girl had somehow swallowed a coin.
This is probably one of the worst nightmares for a parent, and he happened to be there in the nick of time, knew what to do.
And it's so easily. Think about how many times you've dropped change on your way out, or you're taking off your jeans and they fall on the floor.
I know, just
it happens
one of those
too
simple things
often.
that unfortunately can turn tragic.
Yeah.
Didn't in this case. That's good.
That's now. And we begin with some overnight news where early this morning an hours-long standoff in Albuquerque came to an end. Police were able to take 39-year-old Danton Hayborn into custody just after midnight. That was at the Copper Ridge Apartments near Tramway and I-40. Police say they were originally called when he allegedly beat and choked a woman inside an apartment there. Neighbors tell us the suspect suffers from PTSD.
We know that he has some mental disabilities. We just don't know the extent of them.
So they say Hayborn was suicidal, drunk, and taking unknown medications. He's being treated at the hospital for self-inflicted cuts. It's now 6:32. We move on to this, a developing story this morning. The 911 operator who hung up on a caller while she tried to save a dying teen has resigned. The city of Albuquerque sent down an email late last night saying driver and dispatch operator Matthew Sanchez handed in his resignation. Sanchez has been in the news this week for how he responded during the desperate 911 call that was during the shooting of 17-year-old Manzano High student Jaden Chavez Silver.
Is he breathing?
He's barely breathing. How many times do I tell you?
Okay, you know what, ma'am? You could deal with yourself. I'm not going to deal with this, okay?
No, my friend is dying.
Sanchez then hangs up. Jaden would later die. The city says his resignation is effective immediately. To hear the full 911 call, just go to our KRQE News app.
Time is 6:33. There's a new person picked to change a crucial part of APD. And this morning, News 13 is asking why she left her last job. APD says Major Jessica Tyler is the new director of training for the Albuquerque Police Academy. She's charged with reforming the academy after the Department of Justice called out APD last year for poor training of its officers. Tyler used to work for the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office and became the first woman chief deputy. But BCSO says Tyler left on Friday after a personnel issue. Tyler's attorney says she was the target of an internal affairs investigation. BCSO is refusing to discuss the details, and all Tyler's attorney would say was that the department launched the investigation in retaliation against Tyler after she raised concerns over sexual harassment and discrimination on the job. Tonight, the Police Oversight Board will hold a special meeting to interview candidates for its executive director position. The board is tasked with policing the Albuquerque Police Department. That meeting will be held tonight at the Vincent Griego Chambers at 5:30. Happening today, more protests outside the office of a dentist accused of illegally killing a popular African lion.
Yeah, and aside from internet threats, the man's business is now taking a hit. This comes a day after he tried to shift the blame on his guides. Walter Palmer says he trusted hired professional guides and actually paid them $50,000 for a permit, believing his trip was legal. He says it was not until after the trip that he found out Cecil, the lion, was a protected animal at a Zimbabwe National Park. Authorities, though, they say the lion was lured to a neighboring farm.
It's unclear if this hunter from Minnesota was going in search of Cecil in particular. Had he known of this animal that was a well-studied and documented animal, kind of a celebrity in Zimbabwe? So it's an animal that was sought out by tourists who came there.
So outside his office is a growing memorial with stuffed animal tigers you see right there. Others took to social media and Yelp to trash his business. It's not the first time Palmer's faced trouble. In 2008, he was convicted of killing a bear outside of an authorized area in Wisconsin. Turn out to this, Santa Fe's controversial police chief is retiring. Eric Garcia has faced allegations of trying to hire friends despite black marks on their records and that he meddled in internal investigations. Garcia has not said that's why he's retiring. Patrick Gallagher will serve as interim chief for now.
On to this, an Albuquerque car wash owner will spend the next 14 years in federal prison for leading a drug trafficking ring. 35-year-old Christopher Roybal was among 19 people arrested in 2012. They sold pot and cocaine in central and northern New Mexico. The feds say that Roybal bought the Air Force One Express car wash on Gibson near San Pedro with drug money. Time is 6:36. New Mexico's housing market is looking up. Real estate experts say home prices are seeing the best summer they have in years, rebounding closer to what they were before the 2008 recession. And that could be good news for your investment.
We like Albuquerque. It's home to us.
They haven't found the right home yet, but Sam Keller and his wife Karen are hoping they will. The couple is looking to downsize, but stay in the Duke City.
When we bought our last house, it was the market was much better. Now it's pretty well at the bottom. It has been at the bottom. It started back up, and therefore we're on the right end of buying now.
This is probably the strongest summer we've seen since about 2008.
Steve Anaya with the Realtors Association of New Mexico sees a lot of potential in the housing market. Statewide, 18 counties report an increase in the number of homes sold so far this year compared to last. Median home prices are climbing closer to where we were in 2008 in Albuquerque. Back then, the median single-family home price was $199,000. In the second quarter of 2015, which includes June, it's $184,000 in the metro area. Compare that to $177,000 during the same time in 2014 and $165,000 in 2011 after the economy went south. Part of the reason? Fewer foreclosures.
We have gotten several of the foreclosures out of the system, so we're starting to see an increase in the median price.
Anaya says that could be significant for anyone who wants to see their investment increase.
If you're looking for a home today, now may be the time to do it, because I think the stars are lining up for folks.
But a strong real estate market depends on a diverse economy, and Anaya says New Mexico needs to continue to grow.
And if we can do that, I think all these other things will fall into place, but it really is all about jobs. Good job growth, everything else will come in place.
The Greater ABQ Association of Realtors points out that home equity takes longer to increase in neighborhoods with higher foreclosure rates. You can see the full June 2015 market report for Albuquerque in this story at KRQE.com or on the KRQE News app. You'll also find our report this week on the commercial real estate market, how it's faring.
We turn out to this new this morning, a delicious story. A popular Santa Fe restaurant could be one step closer to having the best burger in America. The website called Thrillist has put together the 2015 Best Burger Bracket. Right now, looks like Santa Fe Bite is chewing up the competition. The first round of voting ended at midnight. Now those winners, that include Santa Fe Bite, will move on to the next round. If you want to see the voting results, we posted the link on our website, also on our KRQE News app.
Sounds delicious. A new video shows a very close call for a man after almost being hit by his parked car. Take a look at this. It all happened after a car ran a stop sign, then collided with an oncoming SUV. That caused the car to spin out of control. And with only seconds to move, that man comes inches from being seriously hurt. Wow. Those customers say no hard feeling, know that the outcome could have been a whole lot worse. The drivers involved.
Wow. How do you walk away from that?
I don't know. That would be frightening and probably bad dreams follow.
I'd be like, give me a few moments. We're not leaving.
No kidding.
That is terrifying.
We'll move on to this, 6:39.